Hey guys, welcome back to Grafting Dragon Fruit. It's Richard, and in this video today, I'm going to be showing you guys the benefits of cross-pollinating your dragon fruits. And the example of variety that I'm going to be using today is Condor, because there has been a lot of dilemma about Condor and misinformation that's been going around. So this video is to help clear you guys up about Condor. So the dilemma with Condor is people have been hearing that they are either self-fertile or self-sterile. And I made this experiment specifically just to clear that up, so that way you guys can have this information and know exactly what to do with your Condor when it starts to flower and fruit. All right, so let's just go over if Condor is self-fertile or self-sterile. So Condor is a self-fertile variety in my experience. And I can see why some people are starting to think it's self-sterile, because when you use its own pollen, the fruit doesn't get too big. But it still does set the fruit. It's just you can get like a golf ball sized fruit that doesn't look too big, but the flavor is still the same. It's just very, very tiny. So if you want Condor to grow big fruits, nice big fruits, and it can even improve the flavor, then you should definitely cross-pollinate it with a different type of pollen. And for my experiment, the pollen I used to cross-pollinate Condor was Pink Panther. And I can't wait to show you guys the fruit that I used Pink Panther's pollen on Condor, because it is 3 times the size of the Condors that I use with its own pollen. All right, guys, so hope that clears that up. I'm just gonna, say it again. Condor is self-fertile, but using its own pollen can make it have really small fruits. But if you cross-pollinate it, it can actually get bigger fruits. So no, it is not self-sterile. It just has very, very tiny fruits, and it doesn't like its own pollen for some reason. All right, guys. Okay, so let's go and show you guys the example. So here, I have 2 condors here that I pollinated with its own pollen. So it was just one of those nights where 2 of these were my only blooms. And I didn't want to thaw out any pollen to cross-pollinate because I was lazy, it was late, and I had work the next day. So I was like, you know what? I know it's self-fertile. Let's just use this moment to do an experiment just to see if it's gonna abort or grow into a fruit. And what it did was, it did successfully turn into a fruit, but you just have these golf ball sized fruits that are just so tiny when you use its own pollen. All right, let me show you guys what happened when I used Pink Panther's pollen. So here's Condor, and I cross-pollinated with Pink Panther pollen, and you can see by the size of my hand that it is just a huge, huge fruit. 3 times the size of these 2 little ones that I use as own pollen here. So definitely Condor does benefit from cross-pollination. And there's a lot of people out there that always talk about this, where they say cross-pollinating your dragon fruit can benefit your fruits. And it's true, you guys. Edgar Valdivia has always been telling us this, but now I can finally show you guys that in real time that is really, really true. Using its own pollen, the fruits are small. Flavor might not be as great as the cross-pollinated one. So definitely cross-pollinate your Condor and all of your other dragon fruits. Even if they are self-fertile, you will get a bigger and more tastier fruit from just cross-pollinating. But if you don't have pollen, it's okay. Use its own pollen. I know there are varieties out there, even when you use its own pollen, the fruits are still very good, like Sugar Dragon. That one, the flavor never gets compromised. Okay, so I thought it was a fluke when I had those 2 small condors with its own pollen, because it was one of those days where it was raining as well. So I thought the rain might have played a role in why the fruits is so small. So I did it again. I waited until Condor had flowers. And here is 3 more condors that I used its own pollen. And just check that out, you guys. This one too, it's a little bigger than a golf-sized ball, but still pretty tiny. This one is about a golf-sized ball. Use its own pollen. And 1 more down here, you guys. Check out how small that fruit is on Condor from using its own pollen. And one day I had Sugar Dragon blooming, so I was like, you know what, I have some fresh pollen. Let's just go ahead and cross-pollinate this Condor again to see if it really produces a big size fruit. And here is the sugar dragon cross-pollinated with the Condor, and the fruit is just so much bigger, noticeably bigger than the other Condors that I've used its own pollen. So there you guys go. Cross-pollinated Condor, you will get nice big fruits, and the fins even look a lot cooler on them versus these ones. The fins are so big, but the fruits are just way too small to make it look impressive. So what I'm gonna do, you guys, is I'm gonna harvest this fruit here. Let me get my shears, that's over here. And I'll show you guys the flesh and how the flavor is on these that are self-pollinated. All right, here we have this one. I like this one, it's getting pretty round. The color's pretty red. So we'll go ahead and harvest this baby Condor that I pollinated with its own pollen. So just look at how small that is compared to this one here, you guys. And let me just show you guys the other one where it's really big. The one that's pollinated with Pink Panther. And you guys can see here, I write down the date and what I pollinated with, and that's PP for Pink Panther. But just check out the fruit size difference, you guys. So tiny when you use its own pollen and super plump, so big that it looks like it's about to burst sometime soon. But let's see how this one tastes. Got my knife here. Okay, you guys ready? And here it is. So as you can see, the fruit still looks absolutely delicious even though it's small. And let's see how the flavors are. So this is easily one biter here. And like I said, you guys, doesn't that look like a little golf ball? All right, here it is, Condor. The complexity flavor of Condor is still there, even though it's a small fruit, but it still packs a lot of that flavor that makes Condor so enjoyable. Has a really nice tart, a lot of sugars that releases after you bite the flesh and all the juices come out, and the contrast with them each other makes it so fun to eat. And here's another one, another Condor, baby Condor. Definitely, this will not satisfy anybody. You're just gonna want more after eating these small ones. So definitely cross-pollinate so that way you have big fruits so everyone can have a slice bigger than this. Here we go. That is still so amazing, you guys. All right. This fruit here is definitely ready to harvest. It's been on since August 21st. So this is about 51 days now, you guys. So let's go ahead and just take this off. Let's check out how much bigger and beautiful this fruit is. Okay, guys, so that was the little show and tell and information about cross-pollinating to benefit your dragon fruits. And this is the proof in the pudding here, you guys. I don't know how else to show or explain to you guys that cross-pollinating your dragon fruit does benefit your dragon fruit. So this was a perfect example to come out here and show you guys today. And even though the fruits were small on Condor, the flavor and all of its flavor profile was still there, and I enjoyed it very much. That was so refreshing. I'm probably gonna harvest all those small ones and give it to my daughter, Riley, because they're the perfect size for her. So if you have kids, pollinated with its own pollen, perfect size for your kids, nothing goes to waste. Or if you know you have everyone that loves this variety, cross-pollinated, so you have fruits like this, you can cut into fours and everyone can have a good significant amount of fruit to eat. Okay, guys? All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope all of that info was useful for you guys, so you guys know now what to do with Condor. And if you guys have any questions or any comments, leave it down in the comments below. And if you guys haven't subscribed or turned on that notification bell on the channel yet, hit that subscribe button so that way you guys won't miss a single thing. And I'll see you guys on the next episode of Grafting Dragon Fruit. Peace.